So let me start off by saying that I am not into simulators. I'm not a flight enthusiast, I'm not a pilot, I have no desire to be. In fact, I hate flying in real life. But having said all that, this is truly the power of the cloud. You know, we've made fun of it for years, it's become a meme, but they finally did it. And it is incredible. And Flight Simulator is one of the most impressive things that I have ever experienced. When I was a kid, I remember sitting in the backseat of a car looking out a window and thinking, how cool would it be if I could drive down this road in a game? And I imagined a world where you could drive anywhere in the world, because at that time I was playing like Need for Speed, the very first one. Now, this isn't it. You know, this isn't a driving game, but in a lot of ways it's even more impressive considering that there's a ton of places that don't have any roads. So when I first started this up, the first thing I did, and I imagine a lot of people did this, was I went straight to my hometown, which is in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure you've never heard of it. It's tiny, the population is on the scale of everybody knows everybody, and if you don't know them, you know somebody who does. So I took off from a nearby airport, and as soon as I got into the air, I could tell where I was. I knew the road that I was on, I found our river, was able to follow it, and all the roads, all the layouts, everything was exactly how they should be. So I could tell where the schools were, I could see the ball fields, I knew where Walmart was, and I even found my house. I could even see the neighbor's pool in the backyard. And I was in the room by myself when I first booted this up and tried it. And even though I was by myself, I still said out loud, wow. Wow. I was truly impressed because this was truly next gen. Now, it's not perfect, of course. You know, they're taking satellite data, and so satellite is looking straight down usually, and so they're having to guess, you know, what the buildings look like. So, I mean, even though I knew where Walmart was, I could tell that's the building and the layout and everything. You know, in game, it doesn't look like Walmart, and my house doesn't look actually like my house, but all the buildings were in the right location, and all the roads were in the right location. And so for me, it was just mind-blowing. And if you go into really well-known areas, you know, there's some places that have been handcrafted, so they've really gone in there and added a bunch of detail, and they've got other places that, you know, they've got a lot higher resolution data. And so if you go into those, I mean, those look a whole lot better. They're a lot more accurate. Now, on the flip side of that, if you go into places that have rarely been seen, sometimes it can look downright ugly. I'm not knocking the game for that at all. I'm just, you know, letting you know so that you know what to expect. I had come up with some ideas for a new After Dark series using the game, where I was going to fly to different places that I would like to talk about that I think are really interesting and cool, and kind of check that out. So one of the first things I did was I went into Antarctica looking for the Antarctica Pyramid, and it was just super bad looking. And then I went to Easter Island, and the island is there, of course, but there's no moai. So, you know, it's missing little details like that in some areas, but in some areas it's super detailed. So I'm not going to be able to do that series just yet, but I mean, this is just the beginning, and I could definitely see them adding on to this, and they're supporting the mod community, which is awesome. They're going to be adding a ton of stuff. But this technology powering this is absolutely revolutionary. And it is incredible that they were able to do this. And it's incredible that we're able to actually experience it. You know, if you would have told me a few years ago that, hey man, you can fly anywhere in the world and they've got real satellite data and they're bringing in real live weather data and traffic, I would be like, you're crazy. That's not going to be coming anytime soon. And I've just been blown away. The fact that you can literally jump to anywhere in the world. I mean, literally put you, put in the longitude and latitude and you're there. And I've been using it as just a way to kind of visit areas that I would love to see, but since I hate traveling in real life, I know I never will, so it's kind of been like an extrovert simulator for me. But again, you can turn on live weather and it's pulling in real world data into your game to simulate. You can have real air traffic pulled in that's happening in real time. It is just truly on a different level. And it's an experience that I've never come close to seeing before. And so they make it easy for somebody like me, because like I said at the beginning, you know, I'm not really a flight enthusiast. I'm not interested in learning 50 key combinations to just simply turn on my 747 and not crash immediately. So they've made the game really accessible, so that if you want that true experience of flying a 747 and dialing in every little knob and flipping every little switch, you can do that. But if you want to put it on easy mode, which is pretty much like flying in regular video games, you can do that as well. And everything is customizable, so as you grow, you learn at your own pace. It's just laid out really well. Now, it does have a very simplistic tutorial to kind of get you up into the air with one of the smaller aircraft to kind of learn the ins and outs of flying. So hopefully they're going to add more for some of the more advanced aircraft if you want to go through that process and learn how to do those. They have challenges, which are basically missions that have you kind of practicing landing on a lot of different scenarios, like you're landing on sometimes short runways and sometimes you're dealing with a lot of wind. So you've also got these bush trips, which are long preset flights that you have flying over many legs, and I've actually been enjoying those a lot because those can be quite challenging. And they also take you through some really nice scenery. You can quickly fine-tune things like the weather, so you can literally be flying, and if you're flying in clear skies, you may be like, I wonder what this looks like if it's stormy or if it's snowy, and it's there. You can do it that quick. It's got a great camera mode as well, so you can basically go anywhere in the world, even if you're not following your aircraft. Like a lot of times, I'll just take the drone and I'll go down to like ground level and I'll just let my plane fly off in the distance. I won't even care about it or worry about it, but I'll just look around at stuff through the camera, and it's just great. Now, whenever you're using the camera, you know, you can get down super low, and so when you get down super low, you know, some things can get kind of ugly, because again, the game is kind of meant to be played from up high. But still, even down low, I've found some places that still look really good. But this, again, is just the start. And imagine where you can take this template. I mean, you could eventually have a road simulator and all kinds of games that use this model or use parts of this. And so that's why, even if you don't care for a flight simulator, I say the tech is worth being excited about as a gamer, because this is, again, on a new level. And it really is the first real taste of what the power of the cloud can deliver. And it's one of the first experiences that has really far exceeded my expectations. You know, I knew Microsoft Flight Simulator was coming whenever they said, you know, it's going to have all the different airports around the world. And I'm thinking, yeah, they're probably talking about the major ones. They're not talking about the little rinky-dink one in my hometown. Sure enough, my little rinky-dink hometown airport is there. So I would definitely recommend checking this out. And I also love that they're fully embracing the mod community, because they're going to be able to do some really incredible stuff to this. And I think they're going to really take this already excellent package and make it even better. And this is only the beginning. And it's going to get so much better from here. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn.